single time a new generation of My Little Pony gets announced, the fandom pretty much has a collective meltdown. But this discourse surrounding Generation 6 has gotten out of hand and fast. So today I want to clear the air, debunk some of the biggest myths floating around, and address some recent behavior that this community really needs to take accountability for. Let's start with the leaks that have recently been confirmed as official. When the promo first hit the internet, people immediately started accusing it of being AI generated. And while it's completely reasonable to be skeptical about AI in media these days, a lot of what people were pointing out as proof was literally just low resolution compression, placeholder art, or standard pitch material. And that leads into something that's been discussed and theorized ever since the promo hit. Applejack and Rarity were cut from the show. To put it simply, this is completely false. Fans just assume this because Applejack and Rarity weren't in the lineup. It's already been confirmed that both Applejack and Rarity are in G6. They're just going to be held back and be introduced later in the show. Holding back major characters to build hype or save them for a bigger story arc isn't a rare thing to do, and in fact, it's a pretty standard writing strategy. Now, this brings up another question. How are they going to bring them in? There are plenty of theories out there, but I actually have a theory of my own that I want to discuss. I think Applejack and Rarity are going to be introduced later specifically because they're going to show up together as an established couple. G4 spent years building up their dynamic, and by the end of Friendship is Magic, the writers left a ton of subtle hints about their relationship. Also, since fans took their relationship in Equestria Girls so well, I feel like it's natural for the directors to want to feed into the shipping aspect. If G6 wants to shake things up while still respecting the previous lore, bringing them in later not just as individual characters but as a package deal running a joint business or living together would be a great way to debut them. It gives their absence a purpose and makes their arrival a way bigger deal. Now, do I believe this theory will be true? Probably not. Rarijack being canon will definitely spark more publicity in Western communities, but there's also tons of risks of money loss when shows include queer ships. So the likeliness that they'd prioritize Western fan service rather than the money they can get from other countries is extremely low, but it would be pretty cool if it were to happen. Now, as fun as it would be to speculate about lesbian ponies, we have to talk about the darker side of this drama. Whenever a reboot happens, casting changes are bound to make people nervous, but the sheer amount of hate and harassment being thrown at these new voice actors is honestly embarrassing. It's totally fine to dislike the voice direction, but the amount of people going out of their way to harass and attack individual voice actors is unacceptable. It really seems like none of you bronies actually watched the franchise you claim to be a fan of, because My Little Pony is literally built on kindness and empathy. Attacking other people over a cartoon about ponies completely misses the point of the series you claim to care about. Critique the corporate decisions if you want, but leave the voice actors alone. Also, just putting my 2 cents in, the cast is honestly amazing. At the end of the day, G6 isn't even out yet. We only have a tiny unfinished piece of a much bigger picture, and it's way too early to judge the entire show based on early concept art and cast. Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you feel about Applejack and Rarity being introduced later? And what do you think about my couple theory? Drop your thoughts below, stay kind, and I'll see you guys later in the next video.